First, let me just say how honored I am to be speaking for everyone today. The Inspire Scholarship and just NNCCF in general have been so monumental for both my cancer and my educational journeys. It's an honor to speak to a community that is so near and dear to my heart. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, but I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Victoria Matthews. I'm 24 years old. I've been with NNCCF since 2015 when I was diagnosed with leukemia. I was a sophomore in high school when I found myself sick and covered in bruises. I went to the pediatrician and they ordered a few blood tests, but assured me it probably wasn't anything to worry about. My dad and I picked up some Wendy's, then my little brother, and headed home. The doctor had said to expect results in a few days, so I didn't expect much when my dad went to the kitchen to answer a phone call. I paused the TV and peeked my head into the kitchen, listening in as my dad spoke with whoever was on the other end. My dad slowly hung up the house phone and walked into our living room. His voice was slow and steady as he repeated what the hospital had just told him. My tests had come back and my blood counts were almost non-existent. It was probably leukemia. They'd already cleared an ICU room for me, and we needed to get to the hospital as fast as we could. He tells me I need to pack a few things while he calls my mom. I can still hear my mother's voice in my head. I hear her from the next room. She's yelling, then crying, then yelling again. She's coming home as fast as she can. Our lack of preparedness for all of this becomes apparent as I pull out my biggest bag. It's bright blue and metallic, an old sleepover bag from Justice. I don't know what to pack to go to the hospital. I've never been to the hospital. My phone charger, my favorite pajamas, a couple books. What are you supposed to pack for something like this? I was a pre-med student, so the term leukemia was familiar to me. I think about what we learned in medical terminology that week, and I know it's cancer of white blood cells or something. It seems to hit me all at once, the realization that I have cancer. Real, actual cancer. Lose your hair, chemotherapy cancer. We load into my mom's car, and my parents do their best to try and explain something that they don't understand. They Google frantically, spit out facts, anything to try and prepare their child for what lies ahead. Is it gonna hurt? I ask from the back seat. Yeah, princess, it's probably gonna hurt. We arrive at the hospital, and my life becomes a confusing blur. I receive unit after unit of blood, and we watch the bruises begin to disappear before our eyes. It's not 24 hours before they're loading me onto a plane, transferring me to the closest children's hospital at the time, UCSF Children's Hospital in Oakland, California. I stay in their ICU for a few days, then move up to oncology for a week, then settle in their isolation ward. Christmas and my 16th birthday fly by while we work with my medical team to see if returning to Reno is even a possibility. For months, I undergo chemotherapy, changing doses up and down, going on medication, coming off medication. Everything all happened so fast, and I felt like I was just watching the world spin on without me. I had been this whole person before cancer. I traveled and played on the computer and pushed myself in school and was this moody little teenager. I think the hardest part of cancer was feeling like I'd lost that, the ability to have a normal life, my own life. I have been cancer-free for almost 8 years now. Woo! And what I'd like to emphasize to all of you is that cancer will not define you your whole life. When I was new to survivorship and new to college, it often felt unimaginable to me that I would live a life beyond cancer. The constant anxiety over scans, finding a way to manage chronic pain, and everything in my life seeming to be so cancer-focused, it just seemed impossible. But in the last 8 years, I have accomplished so many other things, experienced so much happiness, and built an entire life for myself in which cancer is only a small part of it. I was 18 months cancer-free when I finally got my driver's license. Maybe a couple years behind, but it turns out no one actually cares when you get your driver's license. I was 2 years cancer-free when I was able to graduate high school. I had to give up my whole maximum AP honors lifestyle, but I was able to graduate with my class, and I even spoke at graduation. I was 4 years cancer-free when I moved out and got to live in an apartment with 3 of my best friends. I found ways to manage my chronic pain over time, and it started to feel like I fit in again with my peers. I was 5 years cancer-free when I got engaged to an incredible person who helps me with my survivorship in ways I could have never imagined. I had been so worried about relationships after cancer and how I could fit into one as a young cancer survivor. Turns out it doesn't really make a difference. I was 6 years cancer-free when I graduated college. I won't lie and say it wasn't more challenging as a survivor, because it absolutely is, but it is also all the more rewarding and all the more exciting. I pulled an all-nighter for my first psychology exam as a cancer survivor. I went on field trips for labs and caught native reptiles as a cancer survivor. I even threw up at a frat party as a cancer survivor. The cancer-consumed portions of my life started to shrink, and every day I felt more and more like every other college student. My first semester, I was scheduling my classes around my health and missing study sessions for constant appointments. But my last semester, I was a full-time off-campus senior with an internship in my field. I graduated from UNR this last December with my bachelor's in cellular biology, my bachelor's in human development family sciences, and my minor in developmental disability. And I did it all as a cancer survivor. For many of us, college has been a lifelong goal that suddenly feels insurmountable with someone touched by cancer. I promise you that it isn't. You all share an incredible support network here at NNCCF, and they will ensure that you have everything you need and every opportunity to succeed. When I decided to pursue a double major, NNCCF supported me. When I struggled with my cognitive abilities and decided to lower my class load, NNCCF supported me. When I added an additional semester to pursue my minor, NNCCF supported me. Over 5.5 incredible years, the Inspire Scholarship has been the backbone of my education. They have provided unwavering financial assistance for every single course I've ever taken. College as a cancer survivor certainly isn't easy, but it is possible because of the incredible people here at NNCCF and the Inspire program. It may not feel like it at times, especially as you embark onto your journey in higher education, but you all have your entire lives ahead of you, and your time battling cancer will only be a small part of it. As a final message for all the current Inspire recipients, use these years to make connections, keep an open mind to change, discover your passions, and learn everything you can about the world and yourself. You can do all of this knowing you have the support of your NNCCF family and face all of the challenges college has to offer head on. It was an honor to speak for you all today and an honor to have been a part of the NNCCF Inspire Scholarships. Thank you.